Let's learn how to see waste. I'm going to pull up a video here with employees working, and Paul Akers is the one commentating, and he's going to tell us about the waste that he sees in the video. Let's see if we can see waste together, and then we'll discuss it at the end.
So now we're going to go up onto the side of the building where I saw them doing some facade work, and I was just kind of noticing how little they seem to be getting done. Again, we got this beautiful sunny day that's warm, and I've been to Kazakhstan so many times where it's been so cold you can't even feel your fingertips. And we got the perfect environment to get a lot of work done. And these two guys are really struggling. Now, notice the one guy, he's just kind of sitting and watching. He's not really doing anything. And the other guy's measuring and measuring. Well, it turns out I sat up there for 5 to 10 minutes, and that guy spent all that time measuring and kind of struggling and trying to get work done that should have been so simple. So the way I view it and the way I look at all this is just one big Lego set. They should be able to go on the side of this building and everything should just snap into place and it should just go. And if it doesn't, it's because the process hasn't been very well thought out or the planning was not done well. Something is wrong that these guys are struggling to put up one piece of sheet metal. It makes no sense whatsoever. So whenever you look around, you need to observe the productivity level of people. Do people look like they're just flowing and getting things done, or they look like they're struggling? Again, look at this one guy. He's just sitting there watching. And there's an awful lot of sitting and watching going on, and we just cannot afford to do that for two reasons. One, we can't afford to pay someone to sit around. But the second reason is we're losing the valuable time. I've always said the holy grail for Kazakhstan and for the BI group is understanding the weather component. If you can mitigate the weather, if you can leverage the good weather in your behalf by being hyper productive when it's good weather, then you're not going to be forced to work in the bad weather. And this is what needs to happen. So when that sun is shining, the productivity level needs to go to the ceiling, and we need to demand that from everyone, that they're constantly improving. Now look how hard this guy is working to make this cut. Well, you know why? Because he's using the wrong tool. He's using a pair of lineman brakes, nippers, to cut sheet metal, and it will never work. And he's just struggling and struggling, and I sat and watched this. I'm not going to make you watch it all because it goes on for another 10 minutes. It is crazy how hard this guy's working to do something so simple. Well, again, for anybody watching this in any other country, don't start getting critical and saying, oh, well, the Kazakh people are doing this. I travel around the world and see this happening everywhere in every culture. It doesn't matter where you are. I see people struggling to do the most simple things. So rather than point fingers, the purpose of this video is to learn, to say, oh, yeah, boy, look at all the waste you have. And when you start to see that, you're going to really have the opportunity to improve the quality of your life. And that's what I'm teaching these guys. I generally go into a situation like this, and I'll say, okay, how can you make this better? And they give me a couple ideas, and I say, I'm coming back in an hour. I put a little bit of pressure on them and say, now you got to show me how you're going to improve this. And it generally works very, very well. I used to call it 2-second lean, now I call it 1 hour lean. I'll give you 1 hour to fix this and get it better. So it's worked really well. But again, look at how much time this guy's spending doing that one simple thing. And then I look down inside the scaffolding, and God, I just don't think it's set up to work. There's just so much struggling going on. The only thing I should see is metal being put on the side of that building, not people fumbling through material inside a scaffolding. I can't watch anymore. I'm going to turn this one off and go to the next one.
What waste did you see in that video? Did the work look harder than it needed to be? Was the work area a mess? Was there any waiting, defects, overprocessing, extra movement, or transportation waste that could have been eliminated? What would you do as a group to make that work easier? So discuss as a group what you would do to make the work easier so that the waste can be eliminated, and then apply it to the work that you're going to do to see how you can eliminate waste in the work that you do.